If you own a business that attempts to keep black people from renting from you, if you are reported to say that you don't want black people counting your money, if you say someone can't judge your case because they're Mexican, if your response to the first black president is that they weren't born in this country, if that's the essence of your entire political identity, you might be a white supremacist.
Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and the wipe their mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out.
That's live from the Capitol today, right?
This house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch. And for the right amount, you can even buy it out. White power, white pride, white privilege. Whites maintain all their rights when whites pillage. White lies.
I didn't write this song today. Hey, welcome. Yeah, that's wild. You know, whites maintain all their rights when whites pillage. Like, I kind of feel like, you know, that song was written a while ago, but you know, it's applicable. Am I saying that right? Man like Saeed with the shades, big words. Today as it was. So welcome to This Week in White Supremacy. Yeah, we took a week off and all hell broke loose. Like literally, you know what I'm saying? Like we did a pre-production meeting and we had a whole slate of things we was gonna talk about. And then guess what? White folks showed up in DC and went absolutely nuts. And now we're here. So we definitely like, you know, hop in the comments. Look at Miracle Sign already. We're not even at the introduction.
I can't stop smiling.
and Miracle Science. I mean, so let me just introduce, if this is your first time, I'm just Siri X. I am a hip-hop artist, you know what I'm saying? That was my song, The Whitest House. You know, it's on all streaming services. If you want to buy it and bump it today. I'm also the co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media. Welcome back, a man like Saeed, man. You know, welcome back, my brother.
Yeah, man. Man like Saeed with the shades, full-time supervillain, part-time hater, you know. Martial artist, enemy of the state. You know?
I don't know, man. I mean, like, you know,
I mean, today I might be
today.
Yeah, man. I might be the good guy for. I might be like the anti-hero. I'm about to upgrade it. You get me?
You're a good, respectable American today, bro. You went to work,
right?
Did your thing.
I'm a full American. Paid my taxes. I got my citizenship. Can't tell me shit. Listen, I just got a brand new driver's license. I'm on the right side of the law.
Absolutely. So, and then like live from the new capital of Black America, Miracle, live from Atlanta, the new Black savior capital of the earth.
No. See, we're not saving nobody. First, you know what? I'm rocking my new Georgia Project, you know, shirt. Because Black women have to save up and show up for ourselves because y'all don't like Black women. Y'all don't support Black people. And 2 weeks ago, y'all were talking about throw the whole South play where all the Black people are. So we didn't save y'all. We have to protect ourselves. Number 1, 2, and 3. But I'm Miracle, the other half of the Wonder Twins, the Whip and the Wop. And we're just here.
And if ever there was a day that we needed the calm, soothing spirit of Mr. L, nice looking shades, Mr. NLS. Can you help us? Save us, Trouble.
So listen, I wanted to, you know, help you all with your reaction to what I'm about to do because I want to do something special today because a man like Saeed with the shades inspired me. So I think I want to try some shades today.
Oh, okay.
I can't see at all. I can't see a dang thing. But we're gonna rock, you know what I'm saying?
Next level shades in the building. So
next level shades.
Yeah, man, it's so much, you know, you talked about you know, Miracle, Black women. And you know, I was thinking, you know, I was having a conversation. So it's a lot I want to say. So if I'm rambling, you know what I'm saying, like forgive me, it's so much. You know what I'm saying?
We may be canceled today. We may get a call.
But hey, look. If ain't nobody got arrested today, then damn sure you shouldn't be canceling us.
Before you go in, let me just say something because I got some tea.
Okay.
I was asked to speak at a university in Pennsylvania for Martin Luther King Day. They informed me today that myself and one hood was too radical and controversial to speak at their university. That my stance was too problematic because I said defund the police.
Wow.
So they asked me to not speak at the university for Martin Luther King Day. And today. And this is just so wild.
No, because we've been dealing with these people for the past 6 fucking months. People think we're too radical. Y'all are too much. Y'all are black militants. How? Like, we're not over here running down with fucking chemical weapons, shooting at the Capitol, kidnapping folks, assaulting journalists, but we're too radical. The police who said we were just unprepared for the assault that happened today, despite people planning for 6 months. And saying they were
to the point. Hold on, real quick, Trouble. To the point where like the hotel where the Proud Boys stayed at was like, y'all can't stay here. Like people knew they were coming. They knew the date they were coming. You know what I'm saying? And like, but like you said, I mean, so you're 100%. They breaking. We hadn't broke no windows. You know, we didn't break no windows. We didn't run down swinging on no police officers. But we saw all that happen today with white people who were allowed to do that. Allowed to run down on cops. They were allowed to push through and get into the Capitol. They broke windows of the Capitol. They went into people's offices.
This was a coup.
Right.
They climbed. They destroyed property.
They climbed.
They committed assault, battery, kidnapping, conspiracy, terrorism.
So look. So just like if you can. Maybe John, like put us to the side. You could just play any of those videos. We saw police taking selfies with these guys. We saw them climbing the Capitol. We saw them breaking windows. So if you have not seen it, we do got a series of videos. It went from Blue Lives Matter. I thought Blue Lives Matter. I thought y'all had Blue Lives Matter flags. Now y'all fighting the cops. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, it's very interesting to me that you still seeing Confederate flags and Blue Lives Matter flags. Right. As people were taking over a government establishment to further substantiate the point that those flags are synonymous with terrorism. Those flags are synonymous with anti-establishment, anti-black, the racist flag, racist regalia. Yeah. Look at this.
So this is inside.
Why aren't they at work? Why aren't they at work? They don't have jobs. They don't go to school.
I mean, that's what they say about us, but you don't see, I don't see, where are there tasers? Like, y'all don't have, where are the bean bags and rubber bullets? Where's the tear gas?
Dog.
See none of that.
Hoses.
So, where the hoses at? Where are all these non-lethal things? And so when we talk about defunding the police, clearly y'all didn't have no funds on display today. Like, there was no funds on display. We didn't see no SWAT teams. We didn't see none of, I mean, we seen them later. Like, they all came later. The National Guard, no need to call them.
They waited for us.
I did want to get to Treble's point, because Treble did have a point, and then we all just went haywire.
So I have an analogy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm seeing exactly why they think we at One Hood are radical. And I think it's because they don't want to acknowledge the cracks in their glass house. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to show them the cracks, and they're telling us we put them there. You feel me? Yeah. It's like, bro, we're just trying to show you how your shit's about to crumble. This shit is falling right in front of your eyes. We're trying to show you this shit is fucked up. And not only is it fucked up, but it's hurting the people on the outside. And they don't want to acknowledge it. They just want to keep saying, oh, it's your fault. You're the reason there's cracks in the fucking house. It's like, but we didn't put them there, my nigga. You built the shit with cracks in it.
I mean, we built it, but you was cracking the whip on us. I mean, that's the reality. But the wild part is, you're right. I mean, because it's like, we're a mirror. We're showing you what this society is. This is what makes us radical, because like we're willing to tell you the truth about yourself. But everybody knows, like, that real friend. The real friend is the one to be like, hey, yo, you got some in your teeth. I don't want you to go out here and mess yourself up. Get that out of your teeth. Hey, no, let me tuck your shirt in right here. You know, that's the real friend, is the one that's going to tell you the truth about yourself to help you, not to harm you. So the critique. So like, but it's ironic because that's how they looked at Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King was like, my critique is coming out of love, and Martin Luther King was killed. You know what I'm saying? So even you know, as the most non-violent of us as black people was killed, but white people can be as violent as they want to be. So I do want to say
with no consequence.
No consequences, right? Because the first thing I want to say is this looked coordinated. You know what I'm saying? Like off top. Like when you see the police response to this mob, this looked coordinated. Like you said, Miracle, they knew for weeks, months that the Proud Boys were going to come into DC and do violence on this day. They knew that. They did it all, you know, a few months, like a month ago, they did it. They were burning Black Lives Matter sign. They knew they were coming. And yet, despite that, I didn't see the presence that we saw when it was a Black Lives Matter protest. We didn't.
You know what's interesting?
Things.
I think we're witnessing us seeing the difference between Superman and Clark Kent. It's like, how often do you see the Proud Boys and the police in the same place?
I mean, that's really what it was. And so that's why, to me, it's coordinated. It's a video, and I think I sent it to you, John, where they like bust through the crowd. And it's like literally like the police, they're climbing up there, and the police just let them run into the Capitol. I mean, they were allowed to go into the Capitol. You think about this. They broke the glass in the Capitol to get in. Nobody was shot. Nobody was tased. Nobody was hit with tear gas like coming into. Like, could you imagine if we like, we getting tear gas and shot at rubber bullets going into a Target? This is the United States Capitol. Like the whole world is watching this. Like the entire world is watching this. Now, so to me, I just want to say that it obviously was coordinated. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. I mean, this was just allowed to happen. This is after they broke through a line of the cops. So it's not like the police aren't seeing and watching this destruction, right? So this is the first thing. So, you know, a lot of stuff, like I said, I got many thoughts and I want to pass it to y'all. But one, it's like, wait a second. How is this patriotic? Like, you're actually breaking into the United States. Like, Colin Kaepernick took a knee. And these white people lost their goddamn minds. And all he did was take a knee during the national anthem. These people are breaking glass and breaking into the Capitol. That's one. You know what I'm saying? And so two, secondly, you know, you mentioned Georgia, and I had put out there on Twitter, I said, hey, look, we need 24-hour armed security on Stacey Abrams right immediately. Like, we need the Black Secret Service, however you want to have it. Like, she needs to be protected because these white folks are going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And Trump was on that call where, you know, that ain't even news no more. I mean, we wanted to open up with basically Trump threatening a Secretary of State to find him some votes. That's not even on the agenda anymore. But he's telling them this is Stacey Abrams. She's laughing at y'all, what she did, you know what I'm saying? And so when we see violence like this, I do, you know what I'm saying, like want to say we really need to hold down, you know, these people that actually were doing the work out in the front line, these Black women, and they need to be protected right now because these white people are losing their goddamn mind, you know what I mean? The woman who was shot has died. Somebody put that out here. We don't know who shot her, what the scenario was. But I know as a Black person watching this, particularly after what we went through this summer, where, you know, watch this. Look, they're just like you're telling me, look, the police just are running away. Like, have you ever seen anything? Not pulling out more weapons, not pulling out tear gas or taser or anything. The police just basically like ran away and let these people run up into the Capitol. To me, this was police officers saying, yo, I don't want to do this to no white people. Because we saw the same energy.
I have a theory. What if they're running away because they don't know if they're harming their own or not?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like when it was Black people, it was a whole, I mean, we had unarmed cars coming up, snatching people up. I mean, it was like anything to stop us. You know what I'm saying? We saw this happen time and time again. And guess what? We was out there with signs, my nigga. Like, we were out there with water, signs, dancing, chanting. And we saw how they came to us. And so when you see these people that went there to fight, like announcing, we're coming to fight, we're coming to break stuff up, we're coming to cause destruction, they're letting you know that. And then you have that little bit of police presence, and then they're allowed to go in there, and then there's not even a move made to actually like tase somebody. You're telling me you can't even break a taser out? I mean, we just talked to Oscar Grant's family, and Oscar Grant was laying on the ground in the subway with his hands behind his back, and he was shot dead. So, I mean, it is infuriating. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over. Miracle, you got something you want to share?
Yeah, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm someone, like, I can go online and I can watch people I grew up with, went to school with, being murdered by cops, right? I'm someone, like, I can go and there's over 6 people I know that I can watch them be murdered on camera. And so to see this swarm of folks who've gone on Parler, who've gone on Gab, who've been talking about killing people, raping people, killing elected officials, taking over, and just watching these officers open the gates, take selfies with them, escort them around where they are literally committing acts of terrorism, attacking people, assaulting journalists. It has been like the weirdest, like, Twilight Zone experience to like actually sit and go through, because these people are mad that Black people voted. At the end of the day, they are mad that Black people are not subjugated to slavery and terrorism anymore. And so they are literally storming a Capitol with weapons, with guns, with coming across from all over the country to harm people. And it is just mind-boggling to know and to see. Like, Jasiri and I were in Ferguson, separate, didn't even know each other, assaulted by police, just standing outside. I have literally watched people follow police instructions and just be beat down. I can still go to sleep and hear people's bones being crackled by how these police in Ferguson were just going around and hitting people left and right. Yeah, and just to watch this has been the most mind-boggling day, because we organized for abolition, we organized for freedom, but we see abolition already exists. Police restraint already exists. All of the systems that we're fighting to create for Black people, they already exist. And a part of this resistance and rebellion is to make sure Black people don't know what it feels like to be able to organize and not know police violence, to be able to walk the street and have police move barricades and let us talk directly to power. And that's it's just so enraging and infuriating. And at the same time, we're supposed to be peaceful, because if I know if my Black ass goes off and starts tweeting stuff, I'm going to be getting a call from the FBI knocking on my door in less than an hour. And so to watch this shit happen has just been, I can't even describe the feeling of just like knowing that like there are people I can't talk to, can't laugh with, can't hang out with anymore because of state violence. And that same state violence just allows these white people to run amok in our nation's capital. It just makes
I just want to touch on something real quick before I come to you, Farouk, because I'm glad you mentioned Ferguson, Miracle. I remember being in Ferguson and literally standing around not doing anything, standing on the street, talking to people. Remember, in Ferguson, they suspended the Constitution. So one of the things when you were in Ferguson, you could not stand still. They made you like walk around. So if you ever went on West Florissant, people would just constantly march around because it was literally illegal to stand and assemble. And I remember standing there with folks and the police came up and just arrested 2 young dudes who were doing absolutely nothing. And I said, what's the charge? And they said, riot. They said a riot was the charge. And it was like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? And so to experience something like that, where basically Black people were just standing around, not doing anything, terrorized by police. They were shooting tear gas. I remember a man holding a baby, a newborn baby, and they were saying the tear gas went into their house. They had to wrap the baby in a wet towel, take the baby into the bathroom because they were firing so much tear gas it was going into people's house. This happened in Ferguson. And people weren't even doing anything. Mike Brown was a victim of police terrorism, period. And so to see, like Miracle said, to see this happen, these white people do this, and this isn't the first time. We just saw a white man blow up half of a downtown in Nashville. They knew, oh yeah, his girlfriend told Abby he's making bombs. Now just imagine, we can't even go to whatever university you're talking about, let alone if one of us started trying to make a bomb. You know how fast the FBI would be kicking down our doors? They got information one of us was making some bombs. But this is like, it's not even, it has to be another word. Like white privilege isn't a strong enough word for what we're seeing. It has to be something bigger than that, because this is ridiculous. Farouk?
Seeing Miracle get upset just kind of changed my whole trajectory.
I'm sorry. I was just
no. Don't apologize, because this is what we live through. This is the skin that we inhabit, and like the emotions that we go through watching this shit. Like, it is comical immediately. Like, your knee-jerk reaction is like, wow, this shit, but it's not funny as in like it's a fantastic tragedy in the Greek sense of it. Like, earlier this summer, I can't count on one hand, or I can't count on both hands how many times I got followed by the police. How many times, we were told we had surveillance on us just for asking, protesting for human rights, right? For us to be treated as human beings. We never, ever threatened to storm any buildings, do anything that was, that would jeopardize our freedom. But this situation, watching it, and having these white people make excuses for it, justifying the behavior. Like, all I can say is someone who has fought to be recognized as a human being in this country, right? Someone who has fought to have my humanity looked at. And then to have death threats, to be followed by police, to be intimidated, to be brutalized, to be threatened walking down the street that I shouldn't be alive because of the color of my skin, or just asking somebody to recognize my humanity. And then to see this shit when you turn on CNN, and even CNN, the liberal media, calling them protesters. Right? That is the alarming shit to me. It's like, you call us anything but protesters, but these motherfuckers can storm a capital of the most, quote unquote, most powerful nation on the planet, and they get the benefit of the doubt by being called protesters. Whether shooting people, whether breaking the law, they had to escort the vice president out. Like, this is now something that we can't enjoy. Like, our lives are at risk for this. Because this shit is automatically going to come back on black people. This always comes back to black people. And I just started seeing that I could read the comments. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. So people that were trying to talk to me in the comments, I wasn't ignoring you. I just didn't know I could read that shit. But like, this is right now. I mean, I can't read anyway. But,
it's them glasses, bro. Take them glasses off.
Hey, man, I paid $500 for my sunglasses, nigga. Don't tell me what to do with my
sunglasses. Wears his sunglasses like J-Lo wears that green dress. Like,
facts. Facts. But it's just like, this always gonna come back to black people, innit? Like our safety because of this has been jeopardized. DC is the blackest city in America next to like Detroit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this shit, like, bro, it's tough to be cohesive at this point now. Let me just shut up.
And I had to call people. Like, I have family in DC, and it's like,
absolutely,
the fact that you have to call people, like, are you alive? Are you barricaded? Like, it makes no fucking sense. And you knew they were coming. People, full disclosure, follow some of these people on Twitter, right? Because just whatever. And they have been talking about the 6th is going to. Everything's going to change on the 6th. Talking about they're going to go and do whatever. You knew. Yeah. When we went to the Target, y'all were so afraid that we were going to mob the Target. Y'all had the National Guard with snipers on front of the fucking Target in East Liberty, ready to shoot us down if we went inside the Target, following us around. And these motherfuckers.
So I just wanted to show this. This was Dr. Sherhar Russell just sent this to us. This is a PA state senator and a former rep, Doug Mastriano, whatever his name. That's what it says. Doug Mastrano. Please forgive me if I mispronounced this dude's name, or if y'all know his pronunciation, give me some phonetics in the comments. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this is a state senator saying, we are storming the Capitol. Our vanguard is broken through the barricade. We will save this nation. Are you with me? So this is a politician, an elected official. Mind you, right here in Pennsylvania, we saw these PA state senators kick, the lieutenant governor out of the conference that they had, or when the call to order, wouldn't let him conduct the Senate meeting as is his right, refused to sit a Democratic senator that won the election. I mean, is it just like, hey, white people, like, you gotta get your uncles and I don't know, like it ain't. I feel like at this point, like, it ain't really my fight. You know what I'm saying?
This has nothing to do with us.
Mastriano, it's pronounced asshole.
Like this is not our fight, man. Like, yeah, this has nothing. Like, I had my brother texted me today. And I know he was being funny, but he was like, "I'm surprised you're not at this protest down in DC." And I'm like, I have no vested interest in watching white people kill each other. It has nothing to do with me, because your president said, "I will not peacefully concede this election." That's a quote.
What he said.
This whole episode is a what the fuck did Trump do now? Like, on the 2020 season premiere of America, this is Trump's doing. He served this up for you. And when he had the opportunity to, just like in the debate, disavow white supremacy, he refused. He said, respect law enforcement and go home. He didn't say, do not relinquish control of the Capitol. He didn't give a commander-in-chief issue. He didn't use his power of office. He said, go home and have a nice day. That's cowardice. He's a fucking coward, in it. Like, yo, this is the man who started. This is from the Oval Office. This came from DC. Yeah, this came from the highest office. He asked the civilians that voted for him to come and take the Capitol, and they did.
And he wanted, he wanted Pence, the vice president, to try to, decertify votes that are and this is it's like. And I know there's probably no white supremacists or Republicans that vote, but it's like the hypocrisy of what people say they believe until, like, white supremacy, just like you said, until black people start taking control and we start voting and we start coming out of it. Now, remember, it was, we believe in the right to bear arms until the Black Panthers came on the scene. And then it was, now we need to pass gun control, right? So what happened? Conservatives was always supposed to be about states' rights. It was always supposed to be. It was never about the federal government getting involved in the states' rights. But now all of a sudden you want the federal government to actually decertify what the states basically decided with their own election. So now you're coming with, this isn't even conservative. This is white supremacist cult worship is what we're seeing. And we're seeing Trump conduct it. And then ask yourself, like, do you feel great, America? Do you feel great again? Like, is this how you feel? I mean, not to mind you, we're still in the midst of a pandemic where we're close to 400,000 people died. We still have record unemployment, but hey, the stock market is doing good, right? We're still facing millions of people being evicted, but you wanted to fucking vote for a white supremacist. For you wanted to strut around as a white person and puff your chest out and have a white supremacist in office. You didn't care that he had no government experience. You didn't care. You wanted someone to go in and talk all this shit. And when we said, hey, this is going to lead to violence, when we saw what happened right here in Pittsburgh with Tree of Life, when we was trying to warn you, oh, no, it's going to become, Tommy Lauren, that crazy, what it is. She put out like, right. The Trump supporters, they're just going to go back to work if Trump isn't voted for president, right? But at the same time, if Biden doesn't become president, it's going to be looting and rioting. Well, guess what, Tommy? Go get your people in DC because they looting and rioting. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to know, the last thing I want to say, bro, and I'm gonna pass it to y'all. Once again, like, law and order.
Where is this law and order?
Trump tweeted out in July, Farouk, that if you did any destruction to a federal property, you will get a minimum 10-year prison sentence. He tweeted this out in July. Any destruction to any federal property, he said, I'm willing to put my whole damn salary on the line that not one of these motherfuckers gets no 10 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna go home, and if they do get charged, guess what? Y'all crazy ass, quote unquote Christian white supremacist people are gonna raise millions of dollars for them, like you did Rittenhouse. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So white people, this is really your problem. This is your problem. This is in your lap. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna move down to Atlanta. We gonna be around Stacey Abrams' house and make sure you don't mess with them. We gonna be kicking it with Miracle in her estate.
Now y'all want to come to the South. Now
y'all gonna be in Atlanta chilling. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be chilling because But I'm just saying, like, we don't let like white people. Y'all got to handle this.
I want to point out something with that, because Warnock and Ossoff both won. I would say decidedly their elections.
Yeah.
They both said defund the police. They both said America has issues. They both ran on a progressive campaign, the same progressive campaign that Biden and co. said was divisive, because y'all were trying to play.
Not just Biden and co. Miracle, Biden and Obama. And co.
Biden and Obama were trying to play to these white supremacists when we kept saying, pick a side. You cannot play to white supremacy. You cannot assuage white supremacy. You cannot talk to white supremacy nicely and talk about civility, and they will then stop being white supremacists. Y'all are mad about all this stuff happening in Pennsylvania, but when it was your turn to step up for Black people, to step up for brown people, to step up for immigrants and push back against white supremacy, you did not. So that's why we have all of these conservative white supremacists, these QAnon supporters running our country now, because you didn't want to pick a side. And now that you have to actually watch white supremacy in action, now you have to watch your sons and your boyfriends and the uncles that you promised that you were talking to at Thanksgiving and Christmas act like fucking fools on national goddamn television. Now you want to have a conversation. Now we got to talk about unity and coming together. Biden's talking about go home and stop, but when it was people in Philly, he was talking about looters and rioters, and they are not American. So why do you have that same attitude to these white folks? Right. And it's ridiculous that once again, y'all are looking at Stacey and Warnock and Ossoff and all these Black and brown people to come save your country, the same country you say doesn't belong to us, the same country you tell us to leave when you get pissed off and upset about. Now we have to save you from your fucking sons. Ridiculous.
Absolutely. And
so I just want to say,
before you go, I just want to say one thing. Like you said, Miracle, like what I'm demanding, like all these people are on videotape. Right here in Pittsburgh, if you're watching this, you're not from Pittsburgh. Right here in Pittsburgh, what they've been doing since May is they've been combing through all these protest videos, and they've been retroactively charging these protesters for stuff that happened in May. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was killed. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was like some people. It was some people, with some gas thrown. It was a little bit of property destruction. But they've been combing through videos trying to find people and charge them with a crime. We got all of these white supremacists on video. What I demand from a federal level, because it happened in D.C., every single one of those people that broke into that Capitol, that did any type of destruction, should be arrested and charged immediately. I know, Miracle, we prison abolitionists. I'm sorry.
No, I want the same thing. Stop them. Freeze their bank accounts. Get them fired. And then evict them. Talk about all the type of stuff that y'all have done to us. Literally, people have had their social medias combed, their bank account. They've had their employers called. All this type of stuff that y'all have done. And on top of that, I want every single free Josh Williams, free every single person y'all have put into prison. Drop all of these charges, give people community service, and call it a day. Because you're not going to arrest these white folks. We saw it with the Bundy brothers. Y'all let them go and take federal property, all type of destroy indigenous rituals and land type of stuff. Y'all let these white folks get away with murder.
Let them white folks in Washington.
Every single one of these Black Lives Matter activists drop their charges, say sorry, expunge their records, and go about your day.
Right, because if you're not going to arrest them that did all of that destruction today, then Josh needs to be freed immediately. And remind you, now remember, and I'm coming to you, Trouble. We who's the president and the vice president? The president, the elect, the architect of the crime bill, the vice president, prosecutor, Kamala, y'all both was on some law and order. Y'all both locked up a lot of black and brown people. This is the reality. You know what I'm saying? I know folks have changed. You know, I know folks, you know, came into the 20th century because black and brown people put pressure on you. You know what I'm saying? To make that change. You know what I'm saying? But we want to see some law and order when it comes to these white people. All these white people should be locked up. Go ahead, Treble.
All right. So as an oldest child, bro, I have such an interesting perspective on this because it's like I have little siblings, right? Right now, observing America and everything that y'all just laid on the table, it's like, because sometimes my mom will call me and tell me what my little siblings are doing in the house, just to like tell me they're over here doing some dickhead shit. It feels like I'm on the phone with my mom and she's telling me my little brother America is out here doing some dickhead shit. It feels like I'm looking at America literally not want us to be violent, but allow violence and then wonder why things get the way they get. It's like, bro, there are consequences to every action. I'm not going to say I condone the violence, but America, if you're going to be violent, don't be surprised when you get violence. You feel me? That's all I'm trying to say.
But I mean, but the reality trouble is, like, Trump has been calling for violence the entire time. And we were over here saying, yo, this man's rhetoric is going to get people killed. And we saw the largest massacre of Jewish people in the history of the United States here in Pittsburgh from a dude that was inspired by Donald Trump's rhetoric. We saw that. You know what I'm saying? And we kept saying, hey, yo, if one of y'all don't get this dude, but none of these, you know, other Republicans have any type of, you know, testicular fortitude, if you want to say that, to even stand up to this dude. Thankfully, the Georgia Secretary of State had to, at least he taped it and put it out. You know what I'm saying? At least he was able to say, no, I'm not going to find you 11,000 more votes. But Trump was on that call saying, people are mad. People are angry. You know what I'm saying? We done seen people rolling up on Mitt Romney. Bro, you're going to see more of this. You're going to see more of this. And the question is, can you name me a police union that did not endorse Donald Trump? I don't see one. And so, like, now when you got to bust your own brothers, when you got to bust your own members, and some of the police are members as well. It was just a cop in Maryland that was on one of these sites, Parler, and that was talking about he was going, when the time was right, he was going to turn in his badge and stand on the side of these Proud Boys. This is a reality that's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're not going to do, this is why we saying defund the police. Because when it comes to white violence, y'all quiet as y'all all of a sudden y'all not so tough, right? All of a sudden, all the SWAT gear is left in the crib, right? SWAT team ain't nobody's home. National Guard, nobody's home.
So President-elect Joe Biden tweeted that America is so much better than this. That sounds very MAGA-ish. That sounds very Make America Great Again. How is America better than this? A country that has yet to apologize or renounce slavery of African people. How are they better than this? A country that allowed George Floyd to be murdered. A country that allowed Breonna Taylor to be murdered, that allowed Ahmaud Arbery to be murdered with impunity, that allowed Trayvon Martin, that allowed Antoine Rose II to be murdered, to be Oscar Grant to be murdered.
Hey, Farouk, we just saw a prosecutor come out yesterday and say, oh yeah, remember that video you saw when Jacob Blake broke up a fight doing what the police was supposed to be doing and was calmly walking to his car with his fucking children in it? And we shot him in the back 7 times for no reason. Oh, there's no charges in that case. That police officer didn't do anything wrong. We just watched this yesterday.
Just watched it. And the thing, to go back to what you're saying about retroactively charging protesters. I remember when I first got here and I learned that the Capitol building was supposed to be this like Fort Knox, and the White House was supposed to be impregnable, right? You had more police presence around institutions of finance, Target, malls, these things like that were fortified and impregnable. But the Capitol building was easily taken over by just a band of unruly white people, upset white people.
They working together, bro. That's the only thing we can say. They working together.
And not only that, you have people that are retroactively being charged, as Jasiri said, for attending protests. Oh, now my Siri want to pop up. Yo, Nizit. For retroactively attending a protest, right? These people are taking pictures on Capitol Hill, on the floor of the Senate, at Nancy Pelosi's desk with the American flag up, vandalizing the Capitol, like your parliament, like it's 1776 or something in it. Didn't they set the White House on fire in one of those American wars or something like that? But this is must-see TV, and even we're reporting on it right now. And the stock in white supremacy is so high right now. That's why the stock market is climbing. Donald Trump architected this whole thing. Like, bro, this shit is so mad right now that, you know, when there's blood in the street, what do? You buy any property. This is just when the levees are broken. This is no different than 9/11 when the levees are broken. Like, I'm not even on those conspiracy type time right now, but like, yo, right now, like Jasiri said at the very beginning, this shit was orchestrated. These white motherfuckers, like, yo, these people were like, yo, we're going to mass. And the thing is, Biden hasn't even taken office yet. He hasn't even taken office yet, man. This is.
Yeah, they somebody put the War of 1812.
1812, there you go.
Biden has promised to put Republicans in office. So like this whole thing is just the most mind-boggling experience.
Hold on. I have a comment just for Farouk.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Listen, in Quebec, at least in Quebec, they'll kill somebody on Parliament steps every 20 years. Just to get the point.
Wow. Somebody said there were 13 arrests today. 13. You remember when
Baker's dozen.
Hey, Miracle, you remember Ferguson? They had us in school buses.
They literally shut down streets and said, everybody's going to jail until we decide we're tired of arresting folks.
School buses to the jail, and all that happened today. And 13. That's how you know it was a coordinated effort. That's how you know.
There's video of them opening the gates. There's video of them taking pictures. There's video. What I want to see. The U.S. Attorney General. I want everybody fired. Pensions, paychecks, whatever the Capitol Police, health insurance, take all that shit away. They have failed. They are incompetent to do their job. They cannot keep people safe. All they had to do was keep the barriers up. But no, they decided to violate their oath. They decided to be on the side of domestic terrorists. Every single one of them should be getting papers right now to be fired. Absolutely. No buyout, fired. It is on camera. You saw them running away. You saw them opening up the gates. Why? At what point do you sit there and say, you know what? Maybe these Black people were right. Maybe when they were marching down Black Lives Matter Avenue and we were pepper spraying them and violating their rights, maybe they were right that some of our people are white supremacists. Maybe they were right that maybe we probably don't want to do this job. But no.
And so I would
fire them all.
Yeah, I mean, but we know, Miracle, I mean, we know that's not going to happen. Even though DC has a Black mayor, even though it was probably some, Black
who allowed Black people to be tear gassed on Black Lives Matter Avenue.
100%. And people who didn't want to defund the police. You had shared a story with us where the former police chief in Atlanta, who is now the police chief in Louisville, who is that? They took the podium. Yeah, and there's a picture of this guy. And so, are you telling me is he arrested? Is that grand theft?
Riot, strong arm theft. That is gang violence. That's assault and battery. There's a felony.
They ran up on all these police. Hey, Miracle. Just this summer. Remember, just this summer in New York City. A police officer stormed this Black man's apartment. Y'all remember this story? And it was helicopters outside. It was all these police out front. And he happened to be on either Facebook or Instagram Live. And people were able to talk him down. And so people were able to stop all this police. They were trying to kick his door in. He knew the law. He didn't open the door. And they said that man assaulted a police officer. And they said the assault was he had a bullhorn. and he yelled and it hurt the cops' eardrum. And they sent NYPD sent 50 police officers and a helicopter to arrest this man. That's the type of treatment we want to see for my man with the podium, for my man in Nancy Pelosi's office. That's the type of treatment. And if we don't see that type of treatment, you know what I'm saying? From y'all law and order people, from y'all former prosecutors and architects, Joe Biden was screaming law and order when it was black people. It was law and order. It was law and order. It was law and order. Predators. Kamala, law and order, right? Super predators. If you try to come at me with some, because we know they are. Oh, we all got to get along. We all got to heal. Yo, you can't heal without justice.
Bottom line,
there is no healing without justice, man. Talk to some of these mothers that lost their children to gun violence. They can't heal when there's no justice for their family. Talk to Samaria Rice, who the federal government just said, oh, we know we saw this man shoot your child down on videotape. We know we saw it happen. We know we saw he did not administer any CPR to this young boy. We're not going to pass federal charges. You know what I'm saying? Tell them about healing. We want to see some goddamn justice.
13 arrests for one of the most violent demonstrations in American history, in recent modern history. We are murdered for peacefully protesting.
Come on, bro.
Bottom line, black people die for peacefully protesting.
Existing
white people have the autonomy, have the white autonomy to storm the Capitol and take it under siege. That's what we live in. That's why we upset. That's why they call us angry black men and women. Is because we can't walk out our house without the threat of us perishing. Like, our shelf life is so short. It's already finite being a human being, but we have such a quick expiration date being black people in this country. We don't have the liberties to be angry like this in public. We got to do this shit virtually.
Yeah,
we have to do these things virtually, innit?
No, that's real. I mean, you know, we can't
do this in public.
This is why black children be getting beaten in the supermarket, and it's like, you know, because this is real. Because we real. That's real. You kind of telling your child, yo, you black, you can't act out this way.
You can't do this.
Running around, throwing all types of shit on the ground. You already know, like, this is part of why we condition ourselves, because we inherently know if you black, just like you said, you get too angry, you get too loud, you're going to get shot, killed. You're going to get shot, killed. You just had a cop, man, the police officer that shot that young boy in Columbus, Ohio, that was he was a marshal that was walking into his house and was shot in the back. This man, one, he's also a minister, did a sermon talking about he likes to hurt people. He did a sermon saying he likes to hurt people. I mean, this is the mentality of these folks. But he don't like to hurt everybody, just us. Because you're not going to hurt your brothers storming the Capitol. It's just us. It's just black and brown folks. So it's going to be a lot now, particularly now that, and we do want to acknowledge, you know, the work that the folks in Georgia did. We want to acknowledge the New Georgia Project. We want to acknowledge Black Voters Matter. You know what I'm saying? We want to acknowledge, you know, Stacey Abrams. We want to acknowledge all the grassroots organizations. Hell, we jumped in. You know what I'm saying? You know, Miracle was on the ground. Khalil from Young Black Motivated Kings and Queens was on the ground. We was texting folks at One Hood Power to get the vote out. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, so we do want to acknowledge that, because that was a victory. However, what that, you know what that mean now? Biden and Harris, I mean, y'all got to get some shit done. You know what I'm saying? There's now you don't got no excuse. Ain't no excuse. Ain't no, we got the Senate, we got the House. You need to come up with them checks. You know what I'm saying? And y'all need to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, and if you try to come with some, oh no, what we need to do, oh hell no. I'm not having it. If the Democrats want to never win another election, it would be inaction in this moment. They will be allowing these white folks to run rampant, because if you allow them to run rampant, what you gonna think gonna happen on January 20th when it's inauguration?
In the face of clear and present danger, the president still chose white supremacy.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, that's who he is, Farouk. I mean, this is who this man is. It's who it's why he was elected. He was elected because, and they did all the surveys. Go find us, Google the surveys. I'm not doing no work for no white folks today. Google the surveys. Everybody that he was voted in because of race, because of it was about race. And he stimulated these racist, white supremacist, white folk who was, quiet under Obama. They was racist. They was mad. They was doing shit under Obama, but he let them all out. Now look at it. And for all those people that said, oh, I don't agree with, Trump's rhetoric, but I like his tax plan. Oh, I don't agree. You own this. Mitch McConnell, all these Republicans who was quiet in the face of this.
Wear that
you
shit.
Own this.
Wear that shit.
This is all them corporations that donated to Trump. You know what I'm saying? All these football team owners that don't you own this. Don't you ever come to be about no criminality. Don't you ever, I don't ever want to hear, I don't care what the next protesters do. To ever come out of my mouth about some criminality with some black protesters. I don't want to hear. I'm not condemning nobody. I'm not condemning because you ain't condemning this, and condemnation ain't strong enough. I'm sorry.
One thing I do want to say is there's something I want from this country a lot more than justice, and that is honesty. You know what I'm saying? One thing I'm tired of seeing are these politicians playing politics. It's like this politics shit is not a game. When you get into politics, the decisions you make affect people's lives. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't care about those people, be honest in your campaign and let us know you don't give a fuck about us. So we can have the information we need to vote for the right people. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it real.
Like Trouble. I mean, come on. We just had a lady, and thankfully Warnock beat her ass. Who basically, bro, this is a woman who heard about the coronavirus and was like, no, I'm not going to tell my constituents. I'm going to go buy some stock, man. We dealing, Trouble. Unfortunately, we dealing with people who don't give a fuck about humanity, period. They care about themselves, they pocket, and they rich friends. They don't even care about these poor white people storming the Capitol. You think Trump cares about these Proud Boy people? You think if any of them get arrested or get killed or get sent to jail, Trump's gonna write them a letter? He don't care about them. If you get caught, you're a loser according to him. If you get killed on the battlefield, you're a loser according to him. So unfortunately, like that's like Trouble. That's the world we need. Like, just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest and say, you know what? I'm here because I want to continue. My husband is on a Wall Street stock exchange or runs us. We just want to continue to make mad money. Because that's why she was there. But I also want to shout out the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream WNBA, but because I had never heard, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know who Reverend Ralph Warnock, and I did an event with him in 2016. I didn't remember. I'm sorry, I smoked a lot of weed as a youngster. I didn't remember. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know who he was until I saw the Atlanta Dream with both Warnock shirts, and I thought it was so wild that they were all wearing shirts against the person that's actually paying their salary, that owns a team. That's such a power. That's black women, bro. And there were some white women too, but it's predominantly black women. But they stood up. I don't know if brothers would have done that. I'm gonna be honest.
Because black women have a resolve that black men just don't have as a whole. You know
when the black men could have protested, Obama came in and everybody, LeBron got his ring. So but I do want to shout out Atlanta Dream from the WNBA. I just want to thank them because they put that on the they put it in my mind, and I feel like they were one of the people that really led that national push that Warnock got. And who helped lead the way, and so I just want to shout them out.
Yeah, and let's talk about had Kelly not said anything racist about black people, the WNBA wouldn't have done that, and she would have probably been elected, right? Had Kelly not darkened Warnock's skin in her ad on Facebook, a lot of black people, myself included, wouldn't have gone as hard as we did these last 4 days, calling all of our friends and family members and being like, shit, now we gotta do something because this bitch is really, really racist. Had she not done that, had Purdue not made fun of Kamala's name, had not extenuated John Ossoff's nose because he was Jewish, he maybe wouldn't have pissed off people. But white supremacy protects white people but it also allows Black and brown people and other people to galvanize and organize it. Like, we don't want this, and we're not going to take it anymore. And I also, because the Proud Boys are run by people who are Hispanic and Latinx individuals.
Come on, let's talk about it.
You know, I'm not going to say anything. What I'm going to say is, when you mean Black, say Black. When you talk about Black solidarity or Black issues, stop saying people of color, stop saying BIPOC, because it's clearly these other people do not give a fuck about Black people or Black lives, Black bodies. So stop looping us all together, because a lot of people are super racist because they're doing everything in their power to prove that they are not Black or anything like Black people. So you are endangering Black people when you loop all of us together. Number one.
No, that's and I do want to say, just to add to that woman who tackled the boy, the trumpet player's son, you know, also was like, oh, I'm Puerto Rican, as if that means anything. No, you're a racist woman who needs to go to jail for your actions.
No, Ginger, there's a lot of people who are Puerto Rican, Cuban, Venezuelan, who are in the Proud Boys. There's also some people who are Korean. I believe one of the guys is Korean. So there are a lot of
it's Black people there. It was, remember the Black dude that went to Oakland and got
and he said he did it because he was trying to take over and he was trying to be a man. Fuck that shit, okay? Yeah. There's a whole bunch of idiots in there. But I just want to point out that if you remember a few years ago in Charlottesville, the Black man who was heavily assaulted in the parking garage, a Puerto Rican man beat the crap out of him. So what I am saying is that a lot of times people think that if you are not European, you are all the same. We are different. We have different histories, different struggles, different belief sets. But to some people, the worst thing in life for them is to be called a Black person. And so what y'all as white people need, a Black person. So what y'all as white people need to do is stop lumping us all together. Stop putting us in the same diversity and inclusion panels, because you're making it harder for Black people, because our experiences are different. Our lives are different.
So
Black people, hell, there are Africans who say they're not Black and they feel insulted when you call them Black. So 100%. Stop doing that.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to say real quick before I come to you, Farouk, and then I know Trouble, you have something to say as well. Dr. Russell's co-producing this show on the low. Dr. Russell just sent me Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney tweeted, what happened at the U.S. Capitol today was an insurrection incited by the president of the United States. That's kind of the type of fire we want to see Biden. Like, where Biden and Kamala should be treating that type of fire. But that was Mitt Romney today. Also, April Ryan, the reporter, she tweeted out that congressional leaders are in an undisclosed location and focusing on the 25th Amendment to get Donald Trump out of office. And so these are I just wanted to share those updates because that's important information.
See, this is the fuck shit that's going to get us killed. Why are y'all on it? Why? The 25th Amendment is not going to help. Y'all could have done that 6 months ago. Now y'all want to let carry out these last 3 weeks. Like, y'all let him run rampant this whole entire 3.5 years. Don't try at the very end. Now that your life is threatened, now that you've seen a gun, all of us have been out here, been threatened. Tanisha was talking, who runs Black Lives Matter, has people sent stuff to her house, but now y'all got a taste of what we get as Black people. Now, no. The 25th Amendment should have been 6 months ago when he was talking about the election is going to be stolen if he doesn't win. That's when y'all should have the 25th Amendment, not now that you have to deal with the consequences of your inaction. Fuck that. Yeah. Deal with it.
Absolutely. I just want to highlight what Cruz said. Just he said, Puerto Rican is not a race. They're white Puerto Ricans and Black Puerto Ricans. So just for folks that just to put that out. Farouk.
Yeah, to build off of what Cruz just put in there. Nazis escaped to Argentina, a Spanish-speaking country, right? Nazis, war criminals, escaped the Hague. They escaped the war, the Nuremberg trials, and fled to Argentina, right? South America, right, where they perpetuated white supremacy. And there's a lot of Argentinians and Spanish-speaking people that wonder why they have German-ass last names. Is because your relatives are fucking Nazis, eh? That's the first part, right? Secondly, my brother and I had a conversation with somebody a white man, who thought that this election, after Joe Biden won, would be handed over seamlessly. You remember that conversation we had on the Zoom call? And he was like, there's no way that Donald Trump would just not leave the office. He has to. The army would make him leave the office. Really, nigga? Really, nigga? That age, bro.
That did not age, but it's funny because we probably gonna get on a call with him again soon. We got
a call with him next week, and I'm like, bro, remember when we were getting funding? I'm gonna come on the Zoom like this. I'm gonna come on the Zoom like yeah. I'm gonna come with the Dr. Umar shit behind mine, like. You know what I mean? Dr. Umar gonna be behind me. Pause. Get me?
Like, you were in the clubhouse. Leave Dr. Umar alone. Listen, I'm not gonna start that. I'm not gonna.
Before I get to trouble, I just want to come like that's like, you know, the black experience. Like we know, like if there's one thing black people know and understand is white violence. It's white supremacist violence. We know how y'all crazy white supremacist white people roll. So we're trying to warn, like we were trying to warn you before this man got elected. Like, yo, this is what it was going to lead to. Oh no, we're gonna get lower taxes, and we like, yo, this is going to lead to violence in this country.
We tried telling you this weeks ago that we're not going to be safe. That black people are not going to be safe because of this shit.
Yeah, and so definitely, man, like we tried to warn you, but yeah, just like you said, I mean, I think like, you know, a lot of white people are oblivious to because it's not covered, it's not shown, you know what I'm saying? And now that it's for the world to see, now you have to confront it. Who is going to, you know, I put out a tweet from Bree Newsom, and Bree Newsom is somebody who's been at the forefront of, you know, having these conversations around white supremacy, she said, can we stop being surprised that white supremacists are the most violent element in America and actually address and end the violence? That's what we want to see. We want to see it addressed. We want to see it ended. We want to see that same energy, that mandatory minimum energy that y'all sent to us. You know what I'm saying? And when there was black people, I saw some super predators at the Capitol today. I saw some super predators. Go get them.
I saw some thugs. I see some unemployed thugs.
Unemployed thugs. Don't you got a job? Why?
That's what I seen.
You know, that's what. So that's
why I'm at my job being reminded that you ain't get your job.
Exactly. Right. Kamala. You know, I want Kamala the cop. I want Kamala the cop. Hey, use that top cop energy, Kamala. Get locked them. You know what? Like you said when you mentioned Hillary, lock them up. You know what I'm saying?
Under the jail.
Next level shades. What you got?
Listen, right? So I low-key already said what I was going to say, but I came up with something new to say. So I don't know about y'all, but we reject white supremacy around here. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that, bro. We're not with it. We're getting that shit out of here, bro. I'm getting more of these shirts soon, so, you know, don't worry about it. You'll be able to reject white supremacy.
I almost wore that today.
No, shout out to... And that's another thing that we can do. Hey, look, you know, cash app some black people today. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
donate.
I'm going to get a new car tomorrow. They better cut me a nice deal.
Hey, look, go right, like you said, go support a black business. You know, today. That's one thing you can do. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you know,
what's our PayPal? What's our let me throw our one hit stuff in there. But Cruz makes a good point about like how after the Civil War and even after World War III's, all of these races just go to Latin and South America and Africa and live and replicate white supremacy there, and that's why there are literal Nazi organizations in South and Latin America. It's like mind-boggling because you're still brown, but be that as it may, we really have to have a conversation about racial reconciliation in this country, because nothing is going to change until we actually solve it and address it and all this type of stuff, because it's just going to get worse. And I don't think when Hitler died, a lot of people, you know, took their own selves out. I don't think we're going to see that on January 20th. I don't think we're going to see like a mass suicide of like white supremacy.
Like Jonestown? Like Jonestown.
Well, I mean, there will be no
Kool-Aid. But I think it's going to get worse. I mean, if you study history, like I love history, but we know that it gets worse. Like after Reconstruction, it got worse. Mm-hmm. After the Civil Rights Movement, it got worse. And so we need to really be prepared to love each other, to support each other, but to hold these people accountable, because this violence is going to spread and it's global. There's nowhere for us to go.
Absolutely.
Like
Miracle.
It is global.
Miracle.
What?
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you.
Absolutely. I
cried earlier.
No, you kept it real, and you're keeping it real right now, and that's the reality, is that we do have to protect ourselves. We do have to be careful. We do understand that, like, it ain't gonna end. It's not like on January 20th, you know, it's some pixie dust and some magic is gonna come along, and all of a sudden, it's gonna be good again. I mean, you just had, you know, the former director of the FBI come out and say Trump shouldn't be prosecuted for any of his crimes. Like, let that go. I mean, so, you know, white supremacy protects white supremacy. You know that, like, if Trump is prosecuted or anything, you know, it's going to drive these white supremacists even more crazy, to be even more violent. We had somebody in Pittsburgh driving down the street throwing bombs out the window. I mean, we don't even know what that is. Right. So I would say definitely, like, you know, hold yourself close, be mindful, keep your head on a swivel, be safe as organizers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, our organizers in Georgia, we need to keep our eyes on them. We need to protect y'all, because normally what happens when black people come together in solidarity, and when white people respond with violence. So all them gangsters in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? The gangsters, 21, Gucci, hey, we gonna need y'all support in this point. Because black people came out and voted, and best believe these white people are more than likely going to respond with violence. So we have to be mindful. We have to be careful. But what do we have laws for if we're not going to enforce them now? And if you're going to have laws like sedition and treason on the books, and you're not going to support them now in the face of the whole world, then you render your whole system. You render your whole system obsolete. You basically, like, none of it matters. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to let this man get away with this, then none of it matters at this point. And so it's going to be a wild couple weeks. Do you have our white pages, Miracle? Do you have our book?
I do, but, like, you know, say free Mamiya, free all the guys. If you know, yes. That's what I'm going to say.
What's the call? What's the call?
Free them all, man. Free them all.
What's the call?
Free them all. Yeah, free, you know.
Free Mamiya and free them all, brick by brick, wall by wall.
Maroon is, you know, almost 80 years old. He not harming nobody. He not doing to nobody. Let that man come home.
So, which one do we want? The Our Time Is Now or the?
Yes, Our Time Is Now. Yeah. That's right. Let's dunk on these whites. Oh yeah, white people. Yeah. Stacey Abrams got a book.
Miracle came with it. Yo, Miracle came with it, eh?
Shout out to Kara's
with the nails. Look at Miracle with the nails.
Oldest feminist.
Miracle, give us the nails. Miracle, give us the nails.
Listen, you see him? Can I get a grooming budget so I can get my nails done and my hair done? I wanted to get the BBL, but you already told me no. But
you trying to get some BBC? Is that what you said? Miracle going after the BBC?
Hey. I said L to the L. But you know, I got to whip in the walk. I might as well, you know.
This is family friendly.
This is family friendly. But
this episode was anything but.
Has a book called Our Time Is Now. And it's basically, if you want to get involved, even though Nancy Pelosi is on here, but if you want to just, like, get involved, just feel inspired, you can just read the book.
Yep.
And just talk about, like, doing groundwork, organizing, to get involved.
Absolutely.
Our time is now. It's going to be our pages, our white pages.
Absolutely, our white page. And then our call to action. We have a few call to actions. Our call to actions is extending. If you did not see our what Black Pittsburgh needs to know, we had Oscar Grant's family on our call. Miracle's the only grown up. I'm sorry, Denise Johnson is making me laugh. She said,
"Yo, wait, what's that? Yo, that's my mom's thing.
Miracle, she's the only grown up in the room. Yeah. So our call to actions are one. You know, we had the Oscar Grant family on the show yesterday. They have a petition to charge the officer Tony Peroni, who instigated all of the events that happened on the platform when Oscar Grant was killed. Punch Oscar Grant in the face, call Oscar Grant a bitch ass nigga, put his knee in Oscar Grant's back, like what happened with George Floyd. we're trying to get petitions signed to get him charged. And so I'm gonna share this petition with y'all. Please go sign the petition if you have not, to help out Oscar Grant's family. We also have a petition that's circulating here in Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, which is a petition that is, Alliance for Police Accountability is doing 2 petitions to change the laws in Pittsburgh. One is the end solitary confinements, and another, Breonna's Law, is pushing back against no-knock warrants. And so we definitely, if you have not signed those petitions, also, please sign those petitions, support the great work that Alliance for Police Accountability is doing. And so if we can throw those links in the chat as well. Hold up. Okay, here it is. I got it. And so, yeah, anything else? Any final thoughts, final words? I feel like I done exercise. I mean, I'm
yeah, man, my throat hurts. Like my throat hurts from yelling. Like I feel like I got in an argument tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot.
You gotta release it. So you gotta do your self-care, do your yoga, do your food, do all type of stuff to
I do my yoga every morning. That's why I'm so calm.
Oh, I know. We gotta get our white pages, but I also got this book too by our sister Linda.
Okay, great.
So it could be, she's here in Georgia, and people be coming after her, because she's been out here getting, people signed up and engaged. So y'all just eat some good food.
Yeah.
Watch some movies, cry together, laugh together, do something. Just don't be white supremacists.
Yeah, definitely push back on that. Anything else? All right. Well, it looks like we're done. Our first This Week in White Supremacy of the year was definitely, damn. I mean, yo.
Nice release, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's try to be.
I say this every episode. We can't make this up.
Yo, you can't make this up.
We cannot make this shit up, man. This is like,
what school was that said we're too radical? I just want to know. Can't give a hint?
Yeah, St. Francis University.
Who?
St. Francis University, some small Catholic PWI.
All right, I mean, hey.
Mofongo. I went to Puerto Rico and I had mofongo, and I haven't been since the hurricane, and I really want to go back. Mofongo is like so delicious.
Yeah. So we we appreciate everybody tuned in. We'll see y'all. I guess we'll see y'all next week. Be careful. Like Miracle said, self-care, Black people self-care, white folks understand, you might be working with some Black people. Yo, be easy. You know what I'm saying? It's an anxious time. Be easy. So yeah, we're gonna end with the whitest house. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead. Turn that up, John.
To all my Africans, descendants of those victims of slave trafficking, the men that captured them, they built statues, the champion. And what religion
were they practicing?
Is in the Oval Office, while Omarosa and Ben Carson defend racists in the same place Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. White minds with black faces, a nation indoctrinated in hatred and need of an operation. Approval rating less than 1/3 of the population who took off their hoods so their identity's not mistaken. America's greatness, we not debating. Her history of murder and raping, we not erasing. Kill Mexicans, kill blacks, and kill natives, cause a real American can only be Caucasian. Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and don't wipe their mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about, where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, buy it out.